morning, good afternoon, good evening. This picture of Harare flooded has been taking the rounds. And it is interesting to note here that one of the person, at least was responsible behind this particular one, was none other than Zanu PF's own Nick Mangwana. He's the one who posted it on his account, Twitter account. Harare City Council has advised residents with no essential business to leave the central business district before dark to avoid flash flooding and worsening traffic congestion caused by heavy rains. And then he posted the picture of part of the town flooded. There was a time when people sympathized with the opposition, when they said they could not deliver services because of Zanu PF's failure to govern the country. But this is no longer getting any traction for the simple reason, 3 reasons actually one can give. The number one reason is MDC CCC councillors have failed to make good use of whatever resources they are collecting in the form of rates from the residents. 2, MDC CCC leaders for the last 25 years have had many opportunities, the best of which was during the GNU of 2008 to 2013, to implement democratic changes to end the Zanu PF dictatorship. They wasted it. And third, last but not least, MDC CCC leaders have been participating in these flawed elections, knowing fully well that the process is flawed, that Zanu PF was rigging the elections, and that participating will only give Zanu PF legitimacy out of greed. In short, MDC CCC leaders are now Zanu PF Team B in all but name, playing for Team A to win and for Team A to have legitimacy. And so for them to be blaming Zanu PF, it's nonsense. You're blaming yourself. You are now Zanu PF, Team B. So you have got to take responsibility for your failures to deliver services to the nation. Ben, welcome to the program.
Good day to you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I'll still, part of Tendai Biti's phrase where he says, it's now turning into a crime scene. And I would say most major city councils are a crime scene. I mean, this flooding is not as to say, water all of a sudden has just become too much. And it's raining, extraordinary. This is just blocked drainage systems, years of neglect. I had a chance to walk in one of these streets, and when you look down the drainage, it was as if somebody poured concrete in it. It was closed, and there was no hope of ever opening it. So now water cannot flow underground. Where does water go? It will flow on top. But then when you ask yourself, how much do they pay themselves each and every month? And when the audits brought out the figures, behold, these guys were paying each other tens of thousands of dollars. They now park their cars 3 or 4 blocks away from work so that people do not see their luxury vehicles. This is what is happening in Harare. They drive top of the range motor vehicle, and yet they are failing to pick up people's dirt and garbage. It's a crime scene. And I truly agree with you that Triple C has now become Zanu PF in all but name. And I have said that what worries me the most is the similarities these guys share. The similarities these guys share is just too much. And I will explain later.
Well, when it comes to payment, it comes touching on the first point there we mentioned that they're failing to make use of the resources they have. Harare residents are paying a staggering $200 per month each. And yet, as we can see there, basic services like collecting rubbish, repairing roads, clearing drainages, and so forth are not being attended to. A few weeks ago, the mayor of Harare was giving testimony before an inquiry when he admitted that the town clerk is being paid a staggering $27,000 a month. That's when you realize this is totally meaningless. This is a council that is saying is failing to maintain basic services because it doesn't have money. And yet, it has got money to pay somebody, a town clerk, $27,000 a month. That is nauseating. That really is nauseating. And most of these people who are forced to pay these astronomical rates, $200 a month. Some of them are university lecturers who are being paid a misery $250 a month. So what is so special about a town clerk? that he should be paid 27,000 US dollars a month. It's just unbelievable. This is the reality of what these MDC CCC leaders have become.
These MDC and CCC characters, are the reason why I'm saying they're just like Zanu PF. They've never shied away from taking part of their loot. I mean, we've seen it even with members of parliament who are now demanding 2 cars, each costing 70,000 US dollars. And when it comes to delivering any, services to the people, both of them, they cry and blame, the other. If they don't blame the other, it's sanctions and so forth. They share the same DNA, they share the same identity, they are so similar in how they are operating. You would not tell that one is opposing the other. I mean, here you are giving us, real figures. And we know that the average teacher, nurse, doctor does not even get a tenth of that. Actually, a tenth is far-fetched. If somebody is getting that 27,000 and a university lecturer is getting 270, it's just a huge gap. And this is what is described when I say it's a crime scene. These guys are wholesale looting and delivering very, very little because they found the perfect excuse. Let's blame each other during the day and celebrate our loot at night. It is now so embarrassing where they cannot go to their work and park their vehicle in front of the building, lest people find out the luxury that they are living in. The mayor of Harare forgot his address where he stays. He gave, when he was testifying before a commission, he could not speak his address because he was afraid people would know the luxury that he lives in. It's a crime scene. And it needs the people of Zimbabwe to see what the opposition is all about, to see that these guys are not about fixing Zimbabwe, but they're about fixing their pockets and lining their pockets with money. We need to wake up that participating in rigged elections for all these years was never to remove Zanu PF. No, no, no. Zanu PF is perfect for the opposition because they too can loot.
My closing remark will be to remind Zimbabweans that what we are witnessing here is nothing new. We have seen this and we have been saying this all along. MDC CCC leaders have become Zanu PF Team B. participating in flawed elections to give Zanu PF legitimacy, and to make sure that Zanu PF wins. This is the reality. And the people of Zimbabwe have got to wake up to it if there's going to be any meaningful change. MDC CCC leaders failed to implement even one token reform designed to dismantle the Zanu PF dictatorship during the 2008 to 2013 GNU. They had that golden opportunity. They failed to implement even one token reform. It is naive to think that they will do so now. And after 45 years of rigged elections and the nation sinking deeper and deeper into the abyss, it really is time for the people of Zimbabwe to wake up to the reality that we have a dictatorship and we have those conniving with the dictatorship to keep it in power, i.e., the opposition MDC CCC. This reality is not going to go away. Nations get the government they deserve. If we cannot wake up to the reality that we are stuck with this Zanu PF dictatorship, then it is our own fault. Ben, do you want to give your closing remarks?
46 years under Zanu PF rule, and Zanu PF has delivered absolutely nothing. 26 years with an opposition that was supposed to have gotten rid of Zanu PF for us, and they have delivered absolutely nothing. They are both useless. They have both failed their jobs. We cannot continue to pretend and protect those in power. It's not how it works. It doesn't work that way. What we need to do is to demand accountability and, to some extent, traceability. Like I said, these are crime scenes, and we have to push and probe and demand. This, our habit of making those in public office demigods, is not acceptable if we want to be on that democratic path. It doesn't work that way. You know, we want democracy, but we do not know what we have to do to achieve it. Because nothing just happens. You have to work on it. And then when you work on it, you have to maintain it. That is how democracy works. And the first order of business is accountability. When they fail to deliver, kick them out. You don't keep something that is not useful to you. CCC MDC has become a thorn in our flesh, just like Zanu PF. They have delivered absolutely nothing. They are of no use to us. Hence, we should stop listening to their advice, because we now know that these guys are after their own gain and nothing about the people. It's taken us so long. We have to stop and start thinking at some point. And I urge each and every one of us to start thinking for ourselves. The evidence is there. Historical facts are there. We just have to acknowledge our past mistakes and rectify the mistakes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank those of you who were able to join us tonight, and hope you'll be able to do it again in future. It's 6 o'clock UK time and 8 o'clock Zimbabwean time. Thank you very much, and have a good night.